Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream. I am brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. I am looking forward to doing your spiritual principle a day in a meditation. All right, let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer, and then I will share that screen. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Please and thank you. Such a powerful prayer. All right, let's share the screen and get into it. All right, July 28th, inviting generosity. Okay, page 217. When we allow another person to step up and help us, we give them a chance to express their own love and generosity. Living Clean, Chapter 7, Being of Service. Railroading newcomers into service is an age-old tradition in NA. We do it with love, remembering our own reluctance to volunteer and with gratitude for what early service opportunities gave us. We complied back then since the people suggesting that we make coffee, set out literature, or greet people at the door were clean, after all. We trusted that they knew a thing or two, so we surrendered to doing as they suggested. Years later, we're the ones nominating newcomers for those same life-saving commitments. By then, we recognize that some of the benefits we derive from service come from practicing love and generosity. Service often gives us our first sustained exposure to the good feelings that come with giving of ourselves. As we support other members, meetings, and service bodies, and rope others into doing the same, our generosity is evident in our contribution. Longtime members assure us that this is no accident. Generously serving each other in NA develops our capacity. We grow as human beings, and NA grows as a fellowship. We open doors for others to practice generosity. In turn, they reach out to bring others along. An interlinked series of relationships define the history of almost every NA community. We are the direct beneficiaries of our predecessors' vision and generosity. And yet, the names of those still with us might not come to mind when we need to recruit panelists for H&I, hosts for the convention's hospitality room, or facilitators for the newcomer orientation. We may assume that our most seasoned members are above such tasks or that they'd volunteer if they were interested. One member had this to say, "I've grown old in NA," which beats the alternative, but I'm not as plugged into what's happening in NA beyond my home group and sponsees. My phone doesn't ring like it used to, but I'll tell you this, being asked to help never gets old. I still have more to give. I will practice generosity by inviting another member, new, old, or in between, to help me or to serve in A. Whew, that was a tongue twister today. My name is Mighty Stream. I am a recovering addict. I'm so glad to be able to get in here today and do this spiritual principle a day that is talking about inviting generosity, inviting other members to be of service, whether it be on a personal level, maybe some help that we might need around the house or just to run an errand or even to get to a meeting or sponsorship even. Or the invitation of generosity to ask someone that's new or old in the fellowship to maybe help with some of the setup of the meeting, or make the coffee, or clean the coffee cups. If you attend that type of meeting place, you might have coffee cups that need to be washed at the end of every meeting, especially in this pandemic. Can you imagine? So there's so many different things, so much room. Sorry for the squeaky chair, but there's so much room for service in the fellowship. And it comes in different levels, different forms. And if you've benefited from being of service, it's just the culture that is somehow expected that you would invite someone that you know or someone else to come along for the ride. The beauty of doing service. You know, when it talks about how for many of us doing service work, volunteering was our first experience within Narcotics Anonymous of giving of ourselves. That kind of giving of yourselves where you don't expect anything back. Like, the whole convention cannot pay you for the level of service that you've done, right? They're not supposed to financially pay you, but the benefit spiritually that you receive from being a part of all these planning committees and showing up whenever the meetings are scheduled and coming with your portion of the responsibility. Maybe you're the secretary. I used to always end up being the secretary. And it was just simply because I knew shorthand back then. I knew how to take quick notes and then type them up really nice. And I didn't miss anything. I can remember being at some meetings, wishing that I had had a recorder. So I learned that if you want to catch everything, you need to pretty much figure out a way to write everything down, abbreviate it, which is the shorthand, and then make good notes. And then it was really horrible when maybe there was a mistake in my understanding and they couldn't approve it until the amendment was made, noted. You know, and so it's a lot of work being a secretary. I got tired. I mean, every time there was an open secretary position, it seemed like I landed in it. And I got to the point where, you know, I can do anything else but be the secretary. Let somebody else be the secretary. And so, what do you think I did? I recruited someone else that had excellent typing skills. They could type faster than I could. And I recruited them. And when the vote came up, they were nominated to be the secretary. And it just kind of works like that. It's a culture of like a relay race. You know, I used to be a field and track individual, and I ran the mile relay, and I ran the 4-mile relay. I ran the 440, right? And I also did long jump. But when you're running a relay, the hardest part is in the passing of the batons. And if you have not perfected passing the baton and it drops, you lose time. You might complete the race, but you will really struggle to win it. Just seconds are lost, but they go a long way. The lasting effect of that 7 to 10 second error can be the race. It can cost you the win, right? And so the same thing when it comes to doing service work. We have to be mindful that we should be wanting to pass the baton, and there should be people available to pass the baton to in the spirit of rotating service, so no one gets overly exhausted or overwhelmed. But sometimes the baton for service is not passed on in an effective manner where the person that's going to run the next leg of this service position is really put in the lead. They're really put in a position where they can make things happen, right? Sometimes, why would that happen? That would be sometimes because someone that was doing the service position relapsed. If the person was a treasurer, it might be that they they borrowed from the money and then struggled to put it back on their payday because they still needed the money. I mean, if you're unmanageable with your finances, you're unmanageable with anybody's finances. And so you find that they would dip into the envelopes, and when it came time for them to replace the money, they still couldn't replace it because now self-centeredness, I need this. I'm gonna get it right. I'll get it all balanced out before the next business meeting, and come to find out, they're not able to balance it out, and they get caught with their hand in the pot, right? And so maybe it's something like that. You just ended up in a position in the baton. You were never trained to do it. You never got to be a co-treasurer or co-secretary or co-chair of chairs. You just landed in it, and the baton was not passed very well to you for service. So what would you do? You would do what many of us have gone before you have done. Learn by trial and error. Stay committed, stay consistent, and with time, you will be in a position to train the next person that you are going to pass the baton on. Hey, there's a bunch of ladies that are hanging out with me lately. I'm up to a whopping 30 subscribers. I don't know. I'm not bothered by that. I used to be on my other channel bothered by the fact that I didn't have a lot of subscribers. I'm not bothered by that today because I believe who is here is supposed to be here. And I believe when God is ready for this to explode, I would be in a position to receive it humbly because I have done all of the work that I am supposed to be doing properly. And so, I'm going to give time. Isn't that what we say to one another? Give time. And so I'm going to give this time to develop and become, more well known, but I'm not in a hurry. I'm still always thinking day by day, how can I service the individuals that are listening better? And one of the things that I am really thinking about doing is doing a monthly or maybe a weekly Zoom meeting on the Zoom platform for us to come together and to consider the meditations. I'm thinking about doing that. And if you are interested, I do an NA group already on Monday nights at 7 p.m. And I do that meeting from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. I will try to put that link in the description box. If you just want to join me, it's a very, very small meeting, so I would definitely love any support. But I'm really trying to find that space, and I think that could be it, where we could actually come together and get to know one another, and we can actually cover the meditations as a part of our format. If that's something that you would like to do, go ahead and email me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I, as usual, have enjoyed your company today. I want you to be generous in the way of service work. I want you to be giving opportunities to other people as well as taking opportunities to do service work in new areas. May today be the most beautiful afternoon that you've ever experienced. May you release yourself from the burdens of guilt and shame and shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And may you start afresh today and just tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to attribute it to my mind, my mistakes to my mind and not my heart, because my heart is right. My heart, my motive, my doing the right thing for the right reasons. I'm okay today with why I do the things I do. Do I make mistakes? Absolutely. But I refuse to turn on that butt kicking machine again, because you know what? It always lands us in one place. Locked behind a door, using, hiding, not wanting people to see us in the condition of active addiction. And we don't have to do that today. I want for you to Think about service work. There's got to be a meeting that needs help. Think about service work. Think about going on to the online international NA meeting and being trained. You have to have a year clean in order to train to host those meetings. But if you have a year clean, go do some service work on that NA Zoom platform that runs 24/7. I did that for 18 months, and it was the most beautiful 18 months, and I had several days out of the week that I would wake up in the wee hours in the morning and chair that meeting. And was it always fun? No. But the end result, I found out exactly what I could do. I found exactly how much my physical body could be pushed when I was trying to do something beneficial for the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous and another recovering addict. My name is Mighty Stream. I've said plenty and I've given you plenty to think about. I am going to be talking to you tomorrow.